everybody, Mr. LEGO Lover 55 here, and welcome to another LEGO set review. Today we're taking a look at another Hero Factory set. This is Rotor. He is set number 7162, he's recommended for ages 8 to 16, and he has around 145 pieces. So since I don't have the box anymore, in this video, we'll be taking a look at the instructions and, of course, the actual set. So we'll go ahead and take a quick look here at the instructions. So this is the front, and this is pretty much what the front of the box would look like with some other set info and stuff. On this page, it shows that you should organize your pieces. Then instructions, of course, and we'll just go skip through those. And then we have the final product. And then we have some of the play features. So one of them is that you can shoot the Zamors. One of them is the spinning helicopter type feature. And the next page we have our good old list of pieces, which is still around today. We also have this advertisement for HeroFactory.com. And then an advertisement for some of the other sets. So Von Nebula, Preston Stormer, and William Furno. And then on this page we have an advertisement for the LEGO Club, which is unfortunately no longer with us. It is now LEGO Life. And that is pretty much it for the instructions. So let's go ahead and take a look at the set. Okay, so here is Rotor, and I will just say he is actually a very decent figure. He's actually probably one of my favorite sets from the first wave of Hero Factory sets, or well, first year. One thing that you can really notice about him is he uses a lot of Bionicle pieces. So he uses a lot of the pieces from the Anika build. You can see he uses the Anika torso from Bionicle and all that. Also the Anika shoulder armor. He also uses some black Vorox armor, or I guess Skrull armor. So that's always nice to see, I guess. So yeah, he's actually got a very nice Technic design for his legs. It is a little bit gappy in some places. However, other than that, it's actually very solid and just very covered up and complete. Other than the legs right there, I guess. But yeah, it just looks very nice, even from the back. Like it's barely noticeable, that it's kind of gappy, from the front, and, you mainly see the gappiness from the side, but however, from the back, you barely notice it at all. So it's very nice how they did that. I also used how they used, this, piece from Matanui, and a car, and just, recolored it in orange to use it as that. I think that looks really nice in orange. They're also using the Toamata feet in orange as well, which is a nice color to see that in. So yeah, for posability for the legs, it actually works pretty nice. It's very solid and complete. You can, of course, it's got that piston there, which that actually is supposed to be an orange piston piece. However, I couldn't find both of them. I could only find one, so I thought I would just use silver ones for now. Yeah, it's barely noticeable. Yeah. So for his body, it's also not as complex as the legs, and I guess detailed as the legs, and nice looking, but it's still pretty neat, I guess. So one thing, as you can see, is that I'm lifting that up, and then his blades are going up, and that's actually one of the play features, as you saw previously in the instruction booklet, so you can lift that up and down at an angle, which is pretty nice. And of course, it's a spinning type of saw blade helicopter thing, so you can of course spin it like that, and it won't spin for very long. However, when it does spin, it does look pretty cool, actually. You can also have it like that and spin it like that. However, one of the problems with spinning this is this arm right here. Now, Rotor's got this huge little wire piece or tube piece or whatever you want to call it in orange, which is nice to get those in orange. You actually get two of them, one right here and one right here. However, this one kind of gets in the way of the spinning saw blades sometimes, or helicopter thing, whatever you want to call it. It's not getting in the way right now, but when you put the arm too far up like that, when you want to get him in a cool pose, it does kind of get in the way when you have the blades down, so that kind of is a bit disappointing. Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about his arms now. So, his arms are they're okay, but they're also not okay. The upper arms, I think, are fine. I think it's okay that they use just a standard Anika type upper arm, I guess. type of build. However, the lower arms are a bit disappointing. So for this side, or from this angle, the right side, it has a little, I guess, plasma gun, I guess, as they call it in the Hero Factory universe, and it's nice to get those Thornax launcher pieces in orange, which I don't think those come in too many sets nowadays, or really just any sets, I guess. I don't know. I'm not sure if you really get any more of these nowadays, but yeah, anyways, you get these in orange, which is very nice, and it's got this green Zamor sphere, or whatever you want to call it, plasma sphere, I guess. However, the thing that's disappointing about it is the way they connected it. I would have preferred maybe something how they did for Thunder, how they connected Thunder's blaster, plasma shooter, onto his arm, because most of the villains use the same, most of them use this piece for their lower arm, which is, I'm not really too sure how to feel about that. It's a nice, cool piece, but yeah, not too sure how to feel about it. But I would have preferred if they had connected the gun or shooter the way they did with Thunder, as I reviewed previously, except just maybe stabilize it a bit so it's not all over the place. However, they did stabilize it so it's not all over the place, but I don't like the angle that it's at. I would have preferred it to kind of be like this, but then this like that, if you know what I mean. But so yeah, I'm not too big of a fan of how they put the shooter on there like that. And then the other side is also a bit disappointing, mainly because they just used this jetpack piece, which is actually, it's nice to get another one of those. We got those in 2008, but I don't think we got any in 2009 or 2010, really. However, it looks good from this angle. However, from this angle, or from just pretty much when you build the thing, it's actually a lot kind of disappointing. They just used those pieces and just extended it out like this. I would have preferred if they had, I don't know, done something else. It seems just a bit lazy, I guess, and that's also not covered up, so that doesn't really help with the design on that. So yeah, that's a bit disappointing with that. And I'm also not sure if I really like how they use these Hordika necks. I mean, honestly, a lot of the build design for the arms I'm a little unsure about, but yeah. Another thing I don't really like is his helmet. Now, something that's different about him, he does use the Iron Man head, as I like to call it. However, in his mask, or well, his helmet, he doesn't have any eye holes. He does have, like, eyes molded on, but they're just, like, they don't, like, go through the helmet at all, so that the Glatorian head shows it all. It's just like that, so there really kind of isn't any use for the head other than just, like, details from you're looking from certain angles. However, like, you don't get any translucent eyes at all, so that's kind of disappointing. So there really isn't a whole lot else I have to say about this, although it does have kind of a lot of problems, mainly with the upper torso, I guess, or mainly just the arms. I still think it's a really decent figure. I think the reason for that is mainly because it uses quite a lot of Bionicle parts, and the way they use those Bionicle parts is kind of disappointing for Bionicle, because I wish we could have got something like this build for the last wave of Bionicle sets in 2010 instead of those Bionicle stars. This would have been way better if we've gotten like these cool builds like this for like some of the good guys, and then maybe something else for the bad guys, or maybe something similar to this for the bad guys. But nope, we got just Avmatorn builds, Bionicle stars, so that kind of sucks. But yeah, that's something I really do like about this set, and kind of a lot of the other villain sets, even though I only have 2 villain sets. But yeah, so there really isn't else I have to say much about Rotor, so let's go ahead and get on to the end of the video. So overall, this is a very well-designed set. Ignoring the arms, I guess, that's because that's probably my least favorite part of the build. The build is very solid, especially for the legs, and like I had mentioned previously, it's disappointing to see that Bionicle didn't get this sort of treatment for the figures, because instead we got the Avmatorn build for the Bionicle stars, which is, yeah, disappointing. That Hero Factory got it, and the final wave of Bionicle sets didn't, but oh well, that's all in the past now. But yeah, anyways, this is a very neat set. Of course, probably my favorite part about it is, of course, the build, but I also do like the spinning, rotating little I guess, helicopter-type feature on the top. I think that's a very neat idea, and I'm not sure if I've seen that used for many other, I guess, just action figure sets in general from LEGO. So I would maybe like to see that some more, even though we probably won't, because Bionicle G2 is canceled, and all that's left now is Star Wars CCBS construction sets, which is a bit disappointing. But yeah, anyways, ignoring that stuff, there really isn't too much else left to say about this set, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and keep building!